This video is on density, and we're going to talk about density as a conversion factor. Density has units of grams per milliliter. The equation for density is equal to the mass per unit volume. And so it has these units, mass units and volume units. You can have any mass or volume units you want. You could have pounds per gallon, etc. Kilograms per liter. There's a whole pile of units different units that you could use, just as long as you have mass on the top and volume on the bottom. Okay, so what that means, for example, sugar has a density, and you can look this up, of 1.59 grams per milliliter. What this means is 1.59 grams of sugar is equal to 1.00 milliliters of sugar. So we have a conversion factor, and we can use it like we did on previous outcomes. For example, a question could be, what is the volume of 75.43 grams of sugar? In that case, I would start off with 75.43 grams of sugar times, and I know that the unit on the bottom has to be a gram because I'm going to end up having them cancel like that. So 1.59 grams per 1.00 milliliters. And we get 47.440 milliliters. Now, how many sig figs? So the mass of the sugar is 75.43 grams. It has 4 sig figs. This conversion factor has 3 sig figs. There's 3 sig figs in this because in the volume of it, because that means 1.59 grams equal 1.00 milliliters. We don't always put the 1.00. In fact, we don't even always put the 1. Okay, so we have 3 sig figs in this value. So we need 3 sig figs over here. 47.4 milliliters. All right, let's do another problem. We have a volume of glycerin. The volume of glycerin, I'm going to abbreviate it, is equal to 157 milliliters. The density is 1.26 grams per milliliter. I want you to calculate the mass. Calculate the mass of glycerin. Okay, so we start off with our quantity and amount, 157 milliliters of glycerin, and we multiply by our density such that the milliliters cancel. So we have 1.26 grams of glycerin per 1.00 milliliters. Notice all my units are in here. When you do this on the exam, you have to show the units. My milliliters cancel, and I get 197.82 grams. And how many sig figs am I going to have? Well, I have 3 sig figs up here and 3 in this value. So I'm going to end up with 3 sig figs. So my final answer is 198, I'm rounding up, grams. We circle that since we have 2 answers. All right. Okay, now I'm going to do a much more complicated problem. So here it is. What is the volume in liters of 2.0 kilograms of aluminum? The density of aluminum is given. It's 2.70 grams per milliliter. We want to convert a mass into a volume, so we use density. But if you notice, I have different units. So 2.00 kilograms is my mass, but I can't cancel kilograms and grams, so first I have to convert from kilograms to grams. This is previous learning objective. 1 kilogram is equal to exactly 1,000 grams. Now I can do the conversion of mass to volume. I have 2.70 grams per 1 milliliter. And then it asks for it in liters, so now I'll do previous outcome stuff. 1,000 milliliters per 1 liter. So we're tacking on a little bit here. When I plug this into my calculator, I get 2 times 1,000 divided by 2.70 divided by 1,000, and I get equal to 0.74074. And now I need the right number of sig figs. So what I want to do is sig figs here are 3, sig figs here are 3. Remember that 1 is 1.00. Okay, so my answer is going to be in 3 sig figs, so 0.741 liters, and then we circle our answer. Pretty easy. Okay, here's one more problem, even a little bit more complicated. The question is, what is the mass of 1.0 gallons of mercury? And I want the answer in pounds. So we're going to have to do a lot of conversions in here. We start with 1.00 gallons, and I'm going to put it over 1 this time. And the first thing I got to do is I got to get that gallons into a density unit. So the volume that we typically use for densities is in milliliters, so I need to go to milliliters. So 1 gallon, I'll go to quarts. 1 gallon, 4 quarts. That's an exact conversion. 1.05 quarts to 1.0 liters. We're going to treat that as exact. Then finally, 1 liter to 1,000 milliliters. Notice my units again. The gallons are canceling, the quarts are canceling, the liters are canceling. I'm left with milliliters. Now I'm going to multiply by the density such that the units cancel. So that will be 13.55 grams per milliliter. So now I have it in grams, and so my milliliters cancel. And now the rest of it is conversion of grams to pounds. So I'll take grams. I know that is 1,000 grams per 1 kilogram. And then the conversion of English to metric that I give you is 1 kilogram equal 2.205 pounds. We treat that as an exact conversion. Let's just do our sig figs first. I'm going to have 3 sig figs here, 4 sig figs for our density, and the rest of them are straight conversions. So in this class, we'll treat that as an infinite number of sig figs. So my number's got to have 3 sig figs. When I do the calculation, I get 113.82 pounds. And again, it'll have 3 sig figs, so 114 pounds for our answer. There you go. That's it for this. I'll expect you to be able to do these on the exam. I suggest practicing them and write out all your units and make your numbers clear like I've done.